Just don't let me see you shoot no dogs.
Roundtable Radio.
What's up,
What's going on, my brother, man? How you doing?
man? Bless. How are you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's what's up, man. I want to thank you for, what I'm saying, taking the time to sit down with me to chop it up about your latest single, man. You know what I'm saying? It sounds dope, man. You know what I mean? Like that, I really like it, man.
Thank you.
Is this your first single? Like, is this your first song to ever drop?
Yeah, first song to ever drop.
Oh man, how you feel about it? Like, because normally when you hear like somebody dropping their first single, they're kind of nervous about it. I mean, when I dropped my first single, I was nervous about it. Well, matter of fact, the feedback from it was pretty awful, but it is what it is. But that was back in high school, man. But you always get that feeling, that gut feeling whenever you have your first single, man. So how you feel so far, man?
Mixed emotions. Like I was telling a friend the other day, it's different. Like knowing somebody else can hear it because I was listening. I've been listening to it in my car for years, like just me type thing, and I was just like, yeah, I ain't never gonna release it. It was that type of thing because you always have to doubt in the back of your mind, ain't nobody gonna like it. So let me just keep vibing to it by myself. So yeah, it's mixed emotions.
Okay, wait. So this is a song that you've been holding for like a couple minutes now.
3 years actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Why do you think someone holds a song for that long, man? Because like I said, a lot of people. I understand with the first song you get nervous, but you have artists out here today who hold albums, who hold singles, who hold videos for years, man. Just what I'm saying, so they could build up that promotion. But what I'm saying, what was the like? Whenever you were like first singing it, not singing it, but first doing the track, and you were like, okay, it sounds good to you. But when did you finally decide that I'm ready to put this out and share it now? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of mixed emotions when it comes from that.
Yeah. So it was one of those things where so through the pandemic, I couldn't perform like I used to perform because of the virus or whatever. So I've been talking about releasing, actually like confident about releasing stuff for probably like 3 months, but it still was that little doubt. So then when I had the opportunity to be like, hey, you can release something, and I was just like, really, like actually release, like for people to hear it. And when that opportunity came, and one thing that stuck out to me about this is I've always been one of those people where I want my music to be timeless. I never wanted just to be a vibe for a year or 2 years. I always wanted to just be timeless, and for me to still like vibe to it 3 years later, and have friends that that was there when I recorded still vibing to it. It was one of those things where let's take a leap of faith and just put it out there and see where it goes.
Yeah. That's pretty much how people feel right now about a lot of things, man. A lot of people, feel like, a lot of people's in the house, so they have time to sit there and listen, man. It's hard enough as an artist, as an upcoming artist, to get people to listen to your music as is. You know what I'm saying? Just from you dropping something, or you don't really get that much support from the people around you. And it differs from a lot of people, but I feel like with the quarantine and with the COVID thing, yeah, it's something that's really horrible. But if you're an artist, if you're a songwriter, if you're any type of independent business owner, this is the perfect time for you to get those things out that you've been holding for a long time, man. Because people have time, you know what I'm saying, and you're able to build from things like this, man. But I want to before we get into the actual song "Come Home," man, I want to ask you some questions, about that song itself. But before we get into that, when I start my interviews off, I like to ask a lot of independent artists is just to get their views on, what I'm saying, the rap game, or how, what I'm saying, their views on how they are as an artist. So I want to ask you, man, when it comes to you being an artist, or a songwriter, a singer, a producer, or anything like that, what do you think motivates you to actually want to keep going and be an artist like that? You know what I'm saying? What do you think is your number one pusher?
Ooh, honestly, like we were talking about through the pandemic, I actually was just gonna stop doing music altogether because I was just like, it's not going anywhere. Because well, most people don't know, I'm actually a praise and worship leader at my church. So I was actually thinking about giving that up, giving everything up. I was just like, hey, I'm just gonna sit back and just chill because nothing's going anywhere. So actually, it was one of those things where God spoke to me and was just like, just hold on a little bit longer. And I was like, all right, let me just do it. Let me just go through the motion. And
Mm.
that was actually that push for me to see that something that I felt was so far fetched is actually closer than I thought. So that push for me has been friends, family, and God. Honestly,
Mm.
that's been the things that's been pushing me to keep performing, keep singing, keep writing, keep playing. That's what my push has been.
Okay. Okay. Now I hear that you say you grew up in the church. You know, you sing in a choir. You like, is it? Have you been in the choir your whole life growing up, or is this like you now venturing off
So
into the, you know?
crazy thing, didn't realize I could sing to the age of 11. So my
Mm.
mom has always been a choir director in my hometown. She gave me a song and I didn't sing it. I talked through it. So I really didn't know I could sing until we moved to Alabama. And I started
Okay.
actually singing at the age of 11 in
Okay.
a gospel group at my church. And then I stopped and wanted to play the guitar. Then I stopped playing the guitar and wanted to sing. And now praise and worship leader, that's what pushed me to actually release songs. It's like, hey, I actually had to start learning to like my voice, because it was one of those
Right.
things where I was like, I don't like this. People are
Right.
just saying that it's nice. We know how church people are. You know, they say stuff just to make you feel good. But it actually wasn't until like last year where I was just like, hey, maybe I should actually attempt to try something, because I
Yeah.
know me doing this could motivate somebody else. Um, to see that it's not so far fetched and that it's so close and you can do anything you put your mind to. Just keep God first. So that's
True.
what I've been trying to push and motivate.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Now, I'm knowing that growing up in the church, and is sometimes when you have an artist who wants to venture off into the rap game today. You have a lot of people who are not really with it because they say, "Hey, you grew up in the church. I want you to stay with this type of music." And you know what I'm saying? You grew up in the church, man. So I don't think you should be singing about this. You know, what the first question I want to ask you is, when it comes to you releasing songs out, starting to release songs out, what type of vibe do you think that you're gonna be pushing out? Is it gonna be on like Lecrae, or you know what I'm saying? Are you trying to like what can people expect when they hear your music, man?
Man, honestly, expect anything, because one thing I am is a music lover. And like you
Mm.
said, being in church, I know probably people, the back of their head, they're like, I can catch backlash from this. This is not what people expect. But I'm a music lover. Like, I love all types of
Yeah.
music, R&B, country, rock. Like, you won't know what to expect from me. And that's the person that I want to be, the artist that I want to be. I don't want to be in a box. Like, when you hear an album or when you hear EP, I don't want the same vibe. Like, I want you to have a song on there you can cry to, dance to, laugh to. And I'm one of those people that just feels like one vibe on one album can just get people off mentally. But when you don't
Mm-hmm.
know what to expect from number one to number five, it's just like you're always got that great expectation, like what's next. Like he got to go big, he got to go hard. What's next? And
Yeah.
that's what type of artist I plan on being. The sound is just the sound, like that. That's what you should
Okay.
expect.
Okay. Hey man, like, yeah, I'm all for it, man. One of the things that I was against at first was because when you listen to people like Kirk Franklin and Ty Tribbett,
Yeah,
they always like to mix hip hop, and well, they're starting to do Kirk Franklin more. He's been doing it for a long time, but you hear like people like Ty Tribbett starting to take music from hip hop and mix it in with gospel. And at first I was like, nah, you shouldn't do that, because you should leave the hip hop to the hip hop, and because you have new generation now, which they don't really understand the old hip hop. You know what I'm saying? They understand this new stuff, but you listen to Kirk Franklin and Ty Tribbett, they're taking songs and samples from Mos Def,
yeah.
Talib Kweli, and you know what I'm saying, and they're mixing it into songs. And I was like, well, I don't think they should be doing that. But listening to you explain that to me is also opening my eyes, also, because at first I was against it, man. I feel like you say you have your category over there. Okay, you stay over there. You got hip hop and rap. You should stay over there, because in the past I've learned that some people don't really agree with, you know what I'm saying, you wanting to mash things together, especially the older heads, because they don't really like they call hip hop secular music. And you know what I'm saying? Or they call things that you may listen or talk about on this song too harsh. Or you know what I'm saying? I remember growing up in the church, and you know, we used to do these performances, right? It was like I think every other Sunday they let us perform like some type of song or something like that. But the beat couldn't be had too much bass in it. You know what I'm saying? It had to be real. You had to be real stiff about it. I'm like, man, what the hell is this, man? You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, I feel. And then I go down to Creflo Dollar shirt. I'm from Atlanta, by the way. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying? So yeah. So Creflo Dollar has mixing everything around. He's with the new generation, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, so y'all want us to be able to express ourselves in the church, but y'all don't want us to connect with the younger generation. And the only way to do that is to get some beats they're familiar with. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they'd have a big problem with that. So for a minute, I was like, I'm not even gonna be trying to mix that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna leave this as it. Just don't take too kindly to that, man. But I feel like you saying that is really opening my eyes and a lot of people's eyes who's gonna watch this and seeing that it's okay to be you. You know what I'm saying? You don't
Yeah.
have to be stuck stagnated in one thing. You know what I'm saying? Because if you bring things together, sometimes it works, man.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that, man. Now this track, Come Home, man. So how did this song come about, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you actually come up with the concept of the song, man? What was the motivation behind it?
Um, Funny story. So me and the producer, London Blue, and my homeboy, we were just in the studio, and I've always liked to write. So I was writing to the beat, and like you said, my church background, it was like my first song, well, no, second song ever recorded, and he was just like, "You writing too old." And I was like, "What you mean I'm writing too old?" He said, "You got too many words." He said, "Let's try to chop it up. Let's see what we can do. Let's talk about heartbreak, like try to get her to come back over, something like that." So that's how that concept came, and we probably recorded the song in 5 minutes
Mm.
because of the vibe of that we had in there, and just him coaching me on, this is how you should write, because this is how the game go. Too many words is not always good. Sometimes you just need to have less words. Less is more sometimes. So that's how this track actually came about.
Okay. Okay. Is it gonna be like a visual to this song soon? Or like is it in the works?
Yeah, I'm actually, so that's one thing I like to do when I write too, is think about the visual of
Me
everything.
too.
And I actually have another song that I'm probably about to drop soon, and I kind of want those visuals to collide some type of way.
Right.
Like, so it can be like, you know how Michael Jackson used to do, Chris Brown, like you have two videos that can just coincide together
Mm-hmm.
basically. And that's the plan that I want for them.
To the
Pretty
next
much.
song. Dropping.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. That's what's up, man. You're actually the second artist to actually do something like that. I know I had another artist on here, Mr. Has, man. He's an
Uh-huh.
artist from the UK. And he just dropped a part two to his song. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes artists can't really pull that off, man. You know what I'm saying? Too many artists can't really pull off really dropping a part two, so you know what I'm saying, to the last song, because you may have one person drop, you may have an artist drop one song and they all right, cool. The video, all right, cool. And then when you get to the next song, which is supposedly a part two, it doesn't really collide with the first song that they dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So when they put out the video, it's just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really get too much ring from it. But
yeah,
you and Mr. Has, Mr. Has really was really the first artist to really nail it in the coffin. You know what I'm saying? And so now when I'm interviewing you, and it's just like, okay, now I'm ready for a part two, because I really like the song, man. I really like the song, man. I want to actually see what the video is gonna be about. You know what I mean? Because you can go one or two ways with that, man. So I'm curious to see
oh yeah.
how you're gonna play that out, man.
I'm
You
babbling to
know.
see how it's gonna go. Honestly, I got so many ideas, and I love visuals, by the way. So my visual ideas, like I said, even though with the Chris Brown and Michael Jackson thing, my video ideas come from like Missy Elliott, stuff like that. How she had
Mm,
the most like craziest things in there that you wouldn't think should be in there, but has a message behind it. Like that's the type of visuals that I think about
okay.
and that I want to, proceed with.
Okay. Okay. Now, if you were to choose an artist that you are motivated by, or that influences you? I'll say influences you. What's one artist that you say out of anybody, any genre, you know what I'm saying? What's one artist that you say that really motivates you to, do what you do?
Uh, well, recently it just became if I have to narrow it down to one, because there's so many if you name genres, but um, I would have to say Jason Derulo, which is crazy,
Okay.
but it's because his albums, his EPs, how he drops, you don't know what vibe he's coming with. Like recently, he had a reggae type vibe, which is one of my favorite type of music. So that's
Mm.
what made me go to him. At first, it was like Chris Brown, because I'm just like, who can drop a 40, song album, 50-song album, and people just go get
Right,
it.
right, right.
But sound wise, like branching out wise, it would probably have to be Jason Derulo.
Okay. Okay. Now when you look at, what I'm saying, artists today, independent artists, we're talking about independent artists right now, or you know what I'm saying, what are your views on the game today? You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of people, you have a lot of artists who come in the game who are not really spreading that right message. You have a lot of artists who come in the game who are on, what I'm saying, positive vibes, who are actually trying to say something in their music. And you have the ones that's really just versatile with the music. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's some, but no, well, not everybody, but you have a couple people who are different. You have most of the music today sounds the same when you're talking about hip hop, when you're talking about even R&B. You know what I'm saying? Today's music of R&B is really starting to sound the same. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, to me. So I want to ask you, what are your views on artists today in the rap game? No matter if it's rappers or singers, you know what I'm saying. What could you say you see from it?
Um, Basically what you just said. Everything was sounding the same to me, honestly. Um, and then it was like two albums that stick out to the top of my head that was just like, all right, so everybody's not sounding the same. Rap wise, I say Pop Smoke. Um,
Mm.
I feel like his album was amazing. The sound of it, the vibe of it, it put me in the, because now we hear a lot of how do I say it? A lot of singing rap. But his, it
Mm-hmm.
took me back to the old 50 Cent OG unit. So it's just like, all right,
Yeah.
he's getting that sound back. So that for rap, that's what I say. For R&B, I thought the same until Brandy dropped her album. And one thing I love about Brandy is none of her music ever sounds like anyone else's. Like you will hear,
Right.
you'll
Right.
get the
Right.
harmonies, you'll get the different timing and beats throughout the song, different melodies, stuff, and that those two, I would
How
say,
did you feel about her latest her versus match with Monica the other week, man? How you think she
man,
did?
man,
Well, she didn't really do anything to me. They just stood there, but I gotta get everybody's opinion, So I'm still asked.
I mean, I would say, I my thoughts was that Brandy won, only because, like you said, they weren't really doing nothing, but the intros that she had, that she was putting before her songs, like how it flowed into it, I love that. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
not even that I'm the diehard Brandy fan, which I am, but just the intro she had, like the Tupac one, the Biggie one, just those were just, and how she blended it into the beat and how the beat came in with the song. I felt like that was dope. Like,
Yeah, man. I was on mixed feelings about it, man. I didn't. Both legends to me. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Both are real good singers, but I just feel like I really wanted more from them. I wanted to hear some vocals, man. I feel like
yeah,
when it comes to the singers, I feel like they should be really versing with them vocals, man. Not
yeah.
not just on the track. They should leave the tracks to the rappers and stuff like that. But I feel like they did good, man. Now, are there any new projects? You got any projects coming out soon, man? Any new albums, EPs?
Currently working on the EP. Currently working on the EP. I know that song "Come Home" will be on there. The part two I'm talking about, that's collided in there, and also a pro black song that I'm working on will also
Okay,
be on there.
okay.
Yeah,
All right. Now,
that's,
comes home. Come home is gonna be the single off the album, right? Or are you working on another track?
"Come Home" may be the single, but I may have that other single too. I may try to just do two singles off it, because, like I said, it
Okay.
has two different vibes. And truth be told, a lot of people were shocked that I use auto tunes. So they were just, a lot of people were heartbroken. They were just like, you can sing.
Oh man, you actually sing,
Yeah,
man.
I
You
actually
actually
sing.
sing, man.
Yeah. So a lot of
Oh,
people were disappointed. So the next song I
that's
was like,
funny. That's
yeah,
funny.
you'll be surprised. I honestly didn't like it at first. This was one of the songs I hated the most because I was
Why
like,
why
I
so
don't.
why use auto tune, man? Like whenever because you it actually I want now you know that you pushing that you sing and we gonna actually put you on the spot, right?
You
You
know,
know
I
what I'm
just
saying?
did a.
It ain't gotta be on an interview. It ain't gotta be, you know what I'm saying? But we do Freestyle Wednesday on Instagram page. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
we actually Freestyle Wednesday, not just rappers. I'm trying to get that more out there. It's not just for rappers. You
Uh,
know what I'm saying? I have this other young person who I'm interviewing tomorrow, and she's a pianist. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
And a singer as well. So I'm like, yo, Freestyle Wednesday, isn't that you can show any talent, man. No matter if you drum, skateboard, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But we want to hear some vocals, man. We want to hear some raw vocals, man. I'm putting
You,
you on the spot.
you know, I just actually did an acoustic version, like a snippet of "Come Home," and just
Mm,
posted it because of the backlash I got from it. Uh, I mean,
man.
it's new for me though, but I was just like, that's something I have to come into because I said I don't never want to be one of them artists that use auto tunes. And like I said, I hated it. I listened to that song and I was just like, I don't like this. But truth be told, we used auto tunes because I was sick. That's the truth. I was sick that day. Like my voice was completely gone, and he
Right,
was
right,
just
right.
like, and we just knew we couldn't recreate the vibe of the song. So he was just like, all right, let's do this. Let's just do this. Let's just put auto tunes on it, and that's how
Yeah,
that
I
happened.
mean, it's still dope, man. It's still a dope song. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm
Appreciate it.
saying? I'm not gonna take any pointers from the song because you use auto tune. But now that we know that you actually sing, you know, we know that you actually sing. It's not you're not just out here on some Lil Wayne type shit. We use auto tune, and when we hear you in actually some raw vocals, you sound like shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't one of them vibes. Like we actually know that you can sing. You actually pushing that you can sing. You was in the choir in the front row. Your mom's in the front row. That's my son right there, boy. You singing, boy. Now we actually want to hear some vocals, man. So no, okay. Now I gotta ask you this. Knowing that you actually sing, man, do you not? Well, I'm not gonna. I feel kind of iffy saying this, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna ask both. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? How do you feel about when you hear actually good singers out here using auto tune, man? How do you feel about that, man? And me personally, I really honestly wish auto tune never existed. He said coronavirus. I wish auto tune never really existed. You know what I'm saying? Just because like it's actually too taken from the actual talent, man. You know what I'm saying? And for a minute, the first person I ever heard use autotune was of course T-Pain.
Yeah.
But until we actually found out that he could sing, and this is like, all right, you know what I'm saying? All right, nigga. But how do you feel about autotune itself, man? Like, do you not taking any way away from this song? We're gonna actually put this song to the side. You know what I'm saying? Just how do you feel about autotune itself?
I would say before I actually started liking the song, I hated auto tunes.
Mm,
But when I go back and listen to just artists I love, honestly, you will hear a little bit of it. Like you will hear it, and it's the pitch correction that they're really using, but you can hear it. You get what I'm saying? Because I was so against auto tune to the fact that I play deaf ear to it. Like when I hear some of my
mm-hmm.
favorite songs. And until I actually thought about releasing this, I heard it so much, like so much. I even heard a few songs where Chris Brown used it, gospel songs where Dietrich hadn't used it.
Mm.
Fred Hammond, like you can hear it. And so I wouldn't take it away because, like you said, with T-Pain, it brought his career. If he would have brought raw vocals the first time, he probably wouldn't have went as far as he made it. Tunes and sing, it was like one of those things where, okay, you can do both. Because
Right.
honestly, Bartender would not have been as dope with raw vocals, like with no auto tune.
I don't know,
I don't,
man. I don't
I don't
know.
think, I don't
I
think,
don't know,
I don't.
man. Listen, look, man. You're actually the first person to actually say here. You're actually the first person I'm hearing say that. You know what I'm saying? One thing that now that you say that, I actually want to hear that, man. I don't know if he actually did it because I know he did that to one of his other songs. He did like a raw vocal
I'm
video
trying to
to
figure out
one of
which
his
one it
other
was.
ones.
I know what you're talking about.
But I don't know, man. It was a good song, man. I don't know. I don't know.
This is what I would say with people that use auto tunes. I would say if they can really sing, if they have a whole album with auto tunes, I say they should drop. another album with the same songs live performance.
Right.
That's what I say. And I feel like they'll get more attention like that. I mean, because you can do both.
Right.
Like I don't agree with a whole album auto-tune. I can't listen to a whole album like that. I can't. But just if you're gonna do it, have that other one drop or have a live performance where you're just not using it, raw vocals. Do it. That's what I say.
Me personally, man, I feel like, you know, when it comes to these seasoned artists, like, you know, you mentioned Fred Hammond and, you know what I'm saying, I would say Chris Brown, but I really don't feel like Chris Brown really, he's done a lot, but he has to do more to be called a legend. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna put him in that category. You know, when you hear these other artists who's been in the game for a minute start to use auto-tune, and I feel like, me personally, it's taken away from their career a little bit. Why? Because you've gotten so far singing. That's like okay, we listen to Stevie Wonder, and then now he comes out with a new album and he using auto-tune. It's like, man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people don't really mix well with it. I feel like it's taken away from their actual careers, because it's just like, you know, y'all got this far. You know what I'm saying? So why switch it up now? I feel like they're taking away from the younger generation, man.
I wouldn't say that, because it goes back to what we were talking about earlier with the mixed music with church music. So it goes back to that with, all right, how do I get their attention? But like, if Stevie wanted to drop a whole album like that, I'd be disappointed. I wouldn't get it. But for him to
I'd be disappointed if he dropped one song
like one song. I feel like Stevie Wonder can kill one song auto-tune. I feel like he can, because his runs are so raw. And that's what people don't realize. With auto-tunes, if you can actually sing, it's actually an advantage, because how good your runs sound with the auto-tunes is amazing. It's amazing for real. And I like we were talking about T-Pain. I think that's how he got so far, because it was just like, he's actually hitting these runs, and then you realize he can sing. You're like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I can agree with you on that, man. You know, cause I remember I've been in the studio with some artists, man, and they'd be like, cut that auto tune on, bro. I'm like, oh hell, here we go with this. I'd be like, man, you sure you want to do this again, bro? Like, come on, we got that one song that it sounds all right, but now you pushing it now.
Yeah, too much.
So, yeah, man. You never know. You never know what you're gonna get when using auto tune, man. I tried to use auto tune when I first started. And when I first really started doing music was, I want to say back 2010, you know what I'm saying, when I really got my first studio. And that's when Lil Wayne was still popping. That's when, you know what I'm saying, I think Roscoe Dash was out, everybody was out. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So auto-tune was real heavy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, let's cut that auto-tune on, man, because I just found this DJ, he was fucking with the auto-tune real heavy. So I was like, all right, cut that auto-tune on, let's see how it sounds. Man, I thought using a whole auto tune for that song was gonna work. But back then I thought it was fire. You know what I'm saying? That's a crazy thing. I thought it was nice, right? But when we put the song out, they like, oh no, you use too much auto tune, bro. I'm like, man, damn, man. So after that, I stopped using auto tune, bro, because I'm not finna get clowned again, bro. So yeah, certain auto tune is for certain artists, man. I really feel like it, bro. I really feel like, you know what I'm saying? You're one of the ones, I say with this song, you get a pass with, because it matches up, man. And, you know, like I said, man, you're actually a singer, so that's why it actually sounds good, man. But listen, man, I wanna go ahead and thank you for sitting down with me to chop it up about your new single, man. Come
Thank
Home.
You for having me.
Let everybody know where they can find this new single at, man.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
It's streaming on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play. You can get it everywhere right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, man, that's what's up, man. Now, before we get out of here, man, are there any shout outs you want to give out? Any producers, any songwriters, any pastors, any girlfriends, any family members, any managers, anybody?
Man, I'm just gonna shout out just everybody that's been supporting me this far. I didn't know it would get this many views and stuff just by it being dropped yesterday. The support has been so surreal, honestly. So yeah, shout out to the producer that produced it, London, my uncle that, you know, been pushing me to drop this. It happened so fast. We both was just astonished at how fast it's moved. Family, friends, everybody. Man, even you. This is my first interview. So
Hey man,
I appreciate
hey man, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing I like to push, man. You know, especially the people who's first dropping their first song, and this is actually special to me, man, because, you know, uh, being, like I said, being an artist today is hard. Being an upcoming artist today is even harder because you're not only trying to get that good sound out, but you're trying to get those followers, you're trying to get those supporters, and it's really tough, man. It's really tough. I remember coming up, doing music, man, and really nobody really supported me. I remember I had, you know, a girlfriend in high school who was okay, you know what I'm saying? She was supportive. I had you know, a couple of friends these days because they feel like, oh, you know, we're taking the easy way out, or they feel like we should have somewhere, you know what I'm saying, our mind somewhere else. They feel like music really is, you know, really just a lazy thing, man. When they don't understand that music really makes the world go round. So, you know, when you have somebody who's just coming out, who's just putting their first song out, I want to be able to capture those moments, man, because I remember there was a time where ain't nobody was fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? And then when you have somebody like you who's actually passionate about it, who's serious, who's actually putting that stuff on platforms, I want to give you that time to really voice your, you know what I'm saying, opinions, voice how you are as an artist, let people know that, hey, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, any artists don't really get that shine, bro. Any artists don't get that shine at all, man. If I can get that platform to where that, you know, everybody you know, saying everybody can eat, everybody can promote their own stuff. Hey, why not? You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with me, bro. Because like I always say, man, without indie artists, there is no roundtable radio, there is no the interviews, there are none of that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are really the push to this right here, man. So, you know, I want to thank you, bro. I want to thank you, man. And I want to have a part 2 to actually this interview whenever you do put that next single out and that next album, you know what I'm saying? So we can see the progress, man, and we can keep this going, man. Most definitely.
I got you.
Oh yeah, man. Well, until next time, my brother, man, you stay safe, stay peaceful, keep the mask on when you go in grocery stores and when you go into restaurants and others getting other people's cars. You know what I'm saying? Just stay safe, man. Stay healthy. God bless. Until next time, man. Peace.
All right, peace.
Just don't let me see you shoot no dogs.
Roundtable Radio.